Welcome back to TFE, a weekly news podcast in which we give our thoughts, feelings, emotions on the latest gaming, film, tech, and streaming news and other random crap we feel like. I am your host, Dan Weller, and I'm joined again by our guest, Joe.
Hello, it's good to be back.
And in this week's episode, we are going to cover the Uncharted controversy, the Facebook name change, and the tragedy at a film set in New Mexico. But first off, I have to apologise for last week. I did miss a lot of news in the past couple of weeks. I'm very sorry. But it means I've got a new section for us called The Past Broadcast, where we're going to cover some of the older topics that I missed, but very big topics. And we're going to start off with the Flash trailer. And this one has had some mixed responses.
Well, I think there's been so much DC sort of stuff in the news. It's hard to you can quite easily get bogged down and you can miss stuff. But yeah, looks interesting. I haven't really watched any of the Flash TV shows or anything like that, so I'm not too sort of aware of like the whole sort of universe that surrounds him.
No. However, the interesting thing is this version of the Flash does show up in the TV shows, so it'd be interesting to see if the TV show, the version of the Flash, appears in the film, which I think might happen. I believe this film is going to be covering the Flashpoint storyline. So for those who aren't aware, is where Barry Allen travels back in time to prevent the death of his mother, causing a whole different timeline. So it's definitely got some cool sort of effects to it. However, I'm not sure I still buy Ezra Miller as the Flash.
Yeah, I don't know. It's it's hard to sort of compare with like I don't know. They didn't have this like distinct sort of image of what I think the Flash should look like. I think he's a good actor. I think he's done quite well in other stuff. But yeah, there's not too much info in this trailer. It's sort of quite a short one.
There are some other interesting notes to talk about. The trailer has got the Batcave in it, so it's where it's taking place. Also, there seems to be another Flash, as well as maybe like another Superman variant. So this is, I think, likely from Flashpoint. So he's called Flashpoint at this point. Then there's now a new Superman and a new, in this case, Supergirl, and another Flash, because there's another Flash in the background. So that's what I think is coming from here.
Yeah.
Some of the music does sound very Flash-like of the film, the TV show. Got a bit of 80s synth to it. But I'm not sure if I've sold an idea. I probably will go watch it, because I want to compare it to the TV show, even though the TV show has sort of left me a bit of a sour note recently. Isn't how shit it's got. Which is quite impressive. But talk about something that could also be shit is the Catwoman animated film coming out, which was also released last week, 2 weeks ago. So how do you feel about animated shows? Do you like?
I think I don't get into them as much, but it's not something I'm entirely just against. It depends how it's sort of done, I think.
Well, this one seems to have a sort of anime style.
Yeah, so I was going to comment on it. It looks a bit like sort of the Pokemon.
Yeah.
About art style.
Which means I already hate it, because anyone listening to this podcast knows I don't like the anime art style. Which is fantastic. I'm not sure about this. Once again, it probably is just the anime art style.
Yeah. When's it supposed to be coming out?
2022?
Yeah, February 8th.
Yeah.
On 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray.
Yeah. I'm not sure who's playing Catwoman in this film. But, if it comes out free, I'd watch it. But I don't think it is. I think it's a DVD special thing. Similar to...
which is a weird one these days.
Yeah, I was actually surprised it wasn't R-rated, because DC like to make R-rated content and then have certain scenes.
PG-13.
In the films.
Look at Blu-ray on digital on Blu-ray. So I guess there is a digital release. What it's going to be on, I don't know, because it's Warner Brothers.
HBO Max.
So, HBO Max, alright, fuck that.
It's always been HBO Max, Joe. They release everything on there.
God.
And then the last DC news I missed last week was the Gotham Knights trailer. So I did mention it, but then I didn't see it for some reason. Don't know how. A bit of an idiot that way. Just an idiot. Anyway, this is the other game that I want to get from DC. The one that's, funny enough, not a continuation of the storyline where Batman dies. But this makes me interested.
So, because the last week it was the Suicide Squad game, right?
Yes.
They've got 2 DC games coming out.
Yes.
Fairly sort of...
They were supposed... So Gotham Knights was supposed to be this year.
Right, okay.
Then they got delayed.
So they're coming out the same year?
Yeah, both come out next year.
That's a bit... That's an interesting business move, I have to say.
Yeah. I think one's at the start of the year and the one's at the end of the year. I think Gotham Knights coming out first. I am interested though. The Court of Owls, that is the main villain in this game, which is very untouched upon in sort of a lot of DC content.
Yeah, I never heard of him.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things. It's a sort of secret organization that's behind everything. Similar to like sort of Spectre or Hydra with the MCU.
Okay, right, cool.
It's a similar style thing. And the reason why they're called Court of Owls is because they have secret meetings and just wear owl masks.
Great. What a fucking feature. That's so stupid.
And there's also other villains revealed in this. You've got Penguin. I think Dr. Freeze has been revealed in sort of other trailers.
I was just sort of coming up with that. For like, hey guys, we've got a secret organization. We're going to wear owl masks. Like, just like, it's just a bit weird, you know? Who started it? Who started the owl mask thing?
This game's also got the same concept as Suicide Squad, where there's 4 different main characters you can play as throughout and change characters. And you can also do co-op with another person, and then you can put 2 characters together. But it's quite funny how they're making the same game.
Basically, yeah, I was going to say, they essentially looked like the same game.
Yeah, I just did 2 different stories.
So
I will be getting
one of them, yeah. I think the sales would definitely be reflective of releasing in the same year, I have to say.
Yeah, I don't think it's actually been giving a release time yet. They just said it was next year, sorry.
Yeah, 2022, that's what it says.
Yeah, which is a bit disappointing because it means it'll probably get pushed back again.
Yeah, maybe they'll come out the same month. That'd be a bit mad.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Hmm.
Let me just check. Suicide Squad's not been given a release date either. Yeah, they're going to come out at the same time. It will just come out the exact same day, same hour, and go see which one does better.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they sort of just like mixed it together quite close.
And then the final trailer I missed last week was the Home Alone trailer. So there's making another Home Alone film that's coming out on Disney Plus called Home Sweet Home Alone.
Great title, honestly. There's magic at work there.
I wonder how long it took them to make that one.
They're probably like an entire marketing team.
Oh, 100%.
But I've got to say, I'm excited. I love a good Home Alone film at Christmas. And like, I don't know, I don't think I was like going, oh, I want a Home Alone remake. But actually, I kind of do, watching it. I'm like, this should be fun.
Yeah, I think it's Ashley B as the mum.
Yes, it is.
That's kind of odd to me. I wouldn't expect that, but I'm sure she'll be great.
Yeah, well, she's doing an English accent, which is an interesting one. Because it sounds fake, I have to say. No,
well, she's Irish.
Yeah, her English accent is not brilliant.
Yeah, just be Irish.
I was gonna say, yeah, like it's not that much abstraction going from English to Irish. You know, It's not like whoa, that's too weird, man. They can't be Irish. Like it just seems a bit unnecessary.
Just use your normal accent.
Yeah, or do like an American. That's easier to do, honestly.
So is this one kid versus one guy? I know, it's sort of interesting here. I don't know. I don't feel like anything could beat the original film, though.
No. But I think this will be like kind of a bit shit and funny. That's what I think it's going to be. It's going to be slightly terrible. You know, always these remakes got a slightly terrible edge to them because not quite they're sort of tiptoeing around because they're not quite sure they don't want to remake the same film.
While this film is coming out November 12th, be a great Christmas film for all the family, I'm sure. It's PG.
Yeah, definitely.
Not R-rated. I would love to see that, though. An R-rated Home Alone. Actually, no, would I want to see that?
Yeah, no, I don't know, maybe if this does well, which it probably won't.
It'd be quite funny to see like a Home Alone kid just started killing all the intruders, just started slicing them at the door.
Well, I was gonna say, honestly, some of the in the original the first 2 films, some of these like the trap set probably would do quite a lot of damage.
It's amazing, and no one died.
Like some guy was like, wasn't he like electrocuted at mains voltage, which would kill you? So.
And then the last bit of news that I missed the past couple of weeks that I saw this week, want to talk about, was the Dubai Expo 2020. So, are you aware of these World Expo events?
Well, I guess it's sort of a resurgence of the World's Fair sort of stuff of like the 70s, I guess. 60s.
Well, funny enough, there's one every 2 to 3 years.
All right.
Which I never knew, and I only found out about it yesterday, as of time of recording. Funny enough, the last one was in Kazakhstan.
the mighty Kazakhs.
Yeah, the mighty Kazakhstan. The home of Borat.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I shouldn't say that. Get in trouble for that
one. I don't know. I think the Kazakhstanis have sort of flipped their bit about Borat because they were like really anti-Borat, and then they've just realised that how much publicity there was. Yeah. So I think they've gone like, oh, it's okay. But it was oh my god, some of the stuff around like the Borat and the original. It's the press conference when he holds like an official press conference, like as the Kazakhstan official press conference, like this Borat guy, no, he's not good. It's like, oh my god, it's so funny. Anyway, shame on the great nation of Kazakhstan.
So this one,
fantastic.
This new expo looks a bit more flamboyant than the other ones due to the fact it's in Dubai.
Yeah.
And Dubai like to have the famous phrase of "go big or go home." They don't actually say that, but let's be honest, that's what they do.
Yeah, they always say that in Dubai.
Yeah. However, seeing this has now made me want to go to Dubai.
It does look cool.
Yeah, they've got multiple different structures. They've got oases inside deserts. They've also got massive LED panels that go everywhere. There's 170 different countries, pavilions that have different structures or economic things to do with sustainability, different architecture things. You've got sort of TVs that follow people around, robots or security measures.
Yeah, it's cool stuff. Yeah,
Very
it's like the city of the future.
Yes. It was supposed to be last year, but it got delayed.
Mm.
Hint why it's called Expo 2020.
Yeah, like the 2020 Europe.
Yes, let's not talk about Euros, Joe. I'm so hurt by that one.
We don't talk about the Euros, oh god. No.
Oh, no, my PTSD.
Oh, yeah.
Coming back.
Too much.
It's
too early still.
Let's move on.
Move on.
Get rid of that. Good, let's go to stream that movie news into my head, and we're going to talk about the Uncharted trailer that just dropped this week. And yes, there has been a lot of controversy around this film, mainly around its main casting of being Tom Holland as Nathan Drake and Mark Wahlberg as Sully.
Yeah, I quite like the look of the trailer. I've got to say, I kind of forgot this was coming out. I think I had heard about it and been like, oh right, the Uncharted games, they did quite well. And then gone, oh, we're quite interested to sort of see a film around that. But yeah, I think the trailer looks good. I think it'll be alright. But I do kind of agree with like some people complaining about the casting that Tom Holland is too young to play this character.
Yeah, he definitely is.
Because I never play the Uncharted games, but having a little look through like the images and stuff of the main character,
his voice is too high pitch. And his face is too young.
Yeah, and Tom Holland is like 20 and looks like just about 18. So
I was actually watching a video about this, and they were saying how Tom Holland would be great as a flashback version of Nathan Drake.
Definitely. He could play a younger version. He could definitely has like the calibers to play a younger version of a lot of sort of characters.
Yeah, but not the main character, because he is too young. He just looks too young.
Yeah.
Many people don't like Mark Wahlberg as well. Some people complain about the chemistry between the two of them.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think with the chemistry, you've got to sort of see the film as a whole rather than sort of trailer. It's hard to sort of really get a judgment of that.
Yeah, it is. One other thing people complain about is the fact Sully doesn't have his mustache. It's the same as the games.
Yeah, I would be fucking rabid if that's the case, actually. That is a real...
To be fair, growing a mustache would be one of the easiest things to do.
Well, it depends. Depends how good you are at growing moustaches.
I'm sure Mark Wahlberg can grow a good mustache.
I don't know.
Also, the plane scene that's in the trailer, that's ripped straight out of the games.
Also looks mental.
Yeah.
Like, how bullshit is that? Just casually just leaping forwards onto the second crate. Yeah, that'd be easy. Yeah, it doesn't. Not travelling at hundreds of miles an hour. The air resistance would be unfathomable. You would basically let go of the box and then just fly away. That's what's going to happen there. You're travelling so fast.
Yeah, it doesn't quite work in a film, does it?
Yeah, no. I think in a game it's designed to be like, it's obviously fantasy. But a film, it's sort of like, it is fantasy as well, but people always get a bit like, that just is slightly ridiculous.
You've got to have at least good physics, apart from Captain America's shield. Or at least take piss at the physics.
Well, I think Captain America's shield is like the perfect example of it. Sort of technically doesn't really make sense, but just about works. That it's kind of okay. Like it isn't like because I don't know if you've seen that video. It's like an interesting comparison between like Captain America's shield and like the Superman films, like the Superman vs Batman and the Justice League films, and actually like the physics of them, where like when they're fighting in those Justice League films, the physics look so fake because like there's no impact of like power because they hit each other in the air and it just knocks them back a bit. Whereas like the Captain America's shield sort of it feels like more of an impact, even though it's bouncing is ridiculous. It sort of makes sense. But also like vibranium's not a real material, so we can't entirely judge how it would work. It's sort of essentially absorbing all energy is really breaks physics already. So.
Well, let's carry on with the Marvel news because Sony has announced they're going to release 2 untitled Marvel films in 2023. And Kraven the Hunter is not included in those 2, which is also released in 2023. So Sony's releasing 3 Marvel films in that year.
Sounds good.
Which is interesting. So the question is, what are those films?
Another Venom one?
I would not be surprised if it's another Venom, because this Venom's done well.
Yeah.
Also, just let you know, check out last week's TBO for our review on Venom.
Yep.
Because it was actually a good film. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, so if this one's done well, I think it will most likely be, unless they start another franchise, what that would be, I don't know.
Well, Andy Serkis has announced that he wants to do Venom 3, so he will be the returning director, I imagine.
Ooh.
And the other one is, what is the other Marvel film? What else could they do?
I'm not sure. Because do they own what other characters do they own?
Technically, it could be another Spider-Man. So I've heard a rumor, at least I think it was, actually we might have covered this in our TBO special, TBO last week of the Venom 2. I think it was Danny who brought it up. He said Spider-Man might be taken out of this universe in this film. The part of the ramification is Spider-Man might have to leave the MCU and then go join his own universe somewhere else. Because this is Spider-Man's last film in the MCU, in No Way Home, in terms of contracts. But that means Sony can still have Tom Holland play Spider-Man, but he just can't be in the MCU.
Yeah, that's true. But will Tom Holland want to do it? I don't think so.
I think he said he would want to do it, but he doesn't want to be tied into a contract just yet, because he wants to just go out and enjoy his life.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was part of being like so restricted by the Marvel contracts in terms of actually insurance-wise, what can you do?
But this wouldn't be a Marvel contract, though. It'd be a Sony contract.
Yeah, but how much looser is Sony going to be, really?
Well, he just did Uncharted.
Yeah. But it doesn't mean it doesn't mean their contract's going to be looser in terms of what we're allowed to do.
I don't know, maybe. Most times it's not, because you can't go skiing if you're on the contract.
Franchise. Yeah, it's like franchising, right? So, like, I guess it's like with the Uncharted thing, there isn't like a franchise there that there's going to be a second film, so they need him to like film all other films that he needs to be filmed for.
Well, so Marvel has announced they're stopping.
Careful.
Marvel's announced they're stopping multi-contract films.
Okay, that's good then.
So people are only going to be brought in for that one film. If that film's a success, they'll be offered another film.
Okay, because I think the problem with that Marvel contract was the fact that you were essentially very regulated when you weren't filming stuff. So I guess with this, like the Sony, if it's like more of a single film thing, you're only, being sort of careful when you are filming. And when you're not filming, it's kind of okay because you're done filming. You're not trying to make another Uncharted film or whatever. So I think that's probably, if it's that sort of line. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
And continuing on with other Marvel news, Chloe Zhao, the director of Eternals, has said she hopes that the gay scenes are not censored. And apparently...
Well, is this like in China and stuff? Because they've done... I've seen other stuff where they're like, they remove gay scenes from China? Or
yes. But
censor them in some way?
Bit about this is apparently this film has the first Marvel sex scene.
The first Marvel sex scene?
Apparently so.
I guess that's true, yeah. But how intense is the sex scene? Like...
I mean, it's still going to be a PG-13.
Okay,
but...
so... I guess what can you get away with on a PG-13? Yeah, that's. I don't know.
You basically just have
films.
It look like, but not.
But it's all looking like most films. They're not actually doing it.
Yeah, I know. But you probably just have the faces.
I don't know what kind of films you're watching, but most films it's normally all inferred.
I just thought it was a bit strange as the first Marvel sex scene.
Well, in terms of like the main MCU.
Yeah.
I think in like the Netflix stuff.
Of course, Netflix stuff has, but that's an 18. Yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
It's Disney, right? Disney don't promote anything like that, do they? Especially not in the older kids' films. There's nothing about that in those films.
No.
It does amaze me how they did that. Will you be going to watch Eternals?
Yeah, probably. I think it hopefully should be a good one. It's like a mad casting. There's some real sort of top actors in it.
Oh yeah, this is Marvel's trying to get an Oscar. They're trying to get. Yeah. I feel like they're trying to get Best Picture with this film because they've got Chloe Zhao, Oscar winner director. bunch
Yes.
of Oscar-nominated or Oscar-winner actors,
Mm.
like Angelina Jolie, Richard Madden, Kit Harington. Fantastic actors and actresses. CGI in this looks mental.
Yeah.
Story's mental. They've got Superman. Not actually Superman, for any mobile hands. They're just taking the piss.
Yeah. Although I still feel it's going to be a slightly shit film.
I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic.
I think it's going to... The problem is you got these characters that are almost slightly too powerful. I think it's going to just be a bit odd.
Yeah, but they're not fighting normal villains. They're fighting interdimensional villains.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. It feels like it's going to be a bit like Justice League, you know? I'm getting that, so it's going to be a bit like that. It's not quite work.
yeah, but Zack Snyder Justice League wasn't too bad. I was actually alright. You've seen that one, the 4-hour one?
Fuck that, no.
Yes, I watched that one. I was actually pretty good. It's still a bit too long.
I think Zack Snyder's just a shit director, honestly. Like his what is it? His like that film, the zombie film.
Oh yeah.
Apparently that was fucking awful. And it was like incredibly long as well.
I trust Chloe Zhao. I think I trust her vision for filmmaking.
What did she direct? What has she directed?
I don't remember. I think it was Nomadland. That's the one that won the Oscar, I think.
Wow, very, very different film.
Oh, nothing the same. So, for those who don't know, Nomadland is about a woman in her 60s who, after losing everything in the Great Recession, embarks on a journey through the American West, living as a van-dwindling modern-day nomad.
The thing with that is it's like, yeah, I'm not sure. I think there's a couple of other good films in here.
And that film is highly praised by critics. Who would have thought?
Yeah. The thing, having a look at sort of some of her other stuff, it all seems to be this very dramatic, sort of quite, scenery sort of like the scenery really plays a part in it.
Well, we've seen Eternals. That's massive wide shots of scenery everywhere.
Yeah, which makes sense in terms of the Eternals, the way it's sort of the look of it.
It looks like an Oscar film. It does. I mean,
yeah. Whether how well that'll work with like multiple character interactions and action, how well she sort of arranges that would be interesting.
or Salma Hayek. That's another actress in there as well.
Oh yeah, she's great.
Big names. Oh, we'll have to wait and see.
Indeed.
And then let's go to the other end of the Disney spectrum of Star Wars. And Hayden Christensen is returning as Darth Vader. He's not. He's returning as Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, I was going to say, it says Skywalker in the article.
Yeah, no, I realised my mistake there. Yes, he's been announced to come back in the Ahsoka Tano TV show.
What we wanted to see, yes. Big old Hayden back in the fray.
Yes, how old is he? Because isn't this photo? It looks very old.
I can say he has aged a bit. It still looks good. I reckon he's like, 40? Would make about sense.
Yes, but he's playing a young... How old is he? He is 40 years old.
Yeah.
But the fact is he's maybe playing
right?
a young version.
No, he'd be playing an older version if he was in the prequels, right?
No, because he
Makes sense
turned
he's
into
aged.
Darth Vader in the prequels.
Yeah.
So he's got to be
gonna
playing younger
older,
than
right?
what he was in the prequels.
No.
If he's playing Anakin Skywalker, it means he's got to be younger than what it was in Return in.
No, but
Revenge of
isn't
the
it?
Sith.
Well, actually, when's this set? I don't know when it's set. I assume it's set at the same time The Mandalorian was set. Sorry.
Well, it depends if he's being.
Oh no, wait, it can't be because isn't that post Empire? He'd be dead, right?
Yeah, that's post Empire. He'd be dead.
Yes. So this is like pre-Empire or during the Empire. When is it set?
Well, I'm not quite sure. There's not. Okay, here we go. So
Yeah. When's it set?
Ahsoka will take place 5 years after Return of the Jedi.
Oh right, okay. So between the two films, right?
No, that is Mandalorian.
No, wouldn't he be dead? I'm confused now.
Yeah, that's what I'm confused about. So this is what's
Wait,
interesting.
no, because what's the last film in the original trilogy?
Return of the Jedi.
Is Return of the Jedi?
Yeah.
Because I thought it was. I always get confused between the Empire Strikes Back and the Return of the Jedi.
I have no idea how he's going to be playing in this. Maybe with flashbacks. That's what I think it might be.
If it's because that can't be right because the man's dead. How is he playing somehow recovered?
I think it'll be flashbacks. Oh, here we go. This could mean he'll be entirely appearing through flashbacks or showing up as a Force ghost.
Okay, that's not really the same thing as playing it. I would like to have seen him sort of really
Be dead.
Well, actually be like between the films, between the like the original trilogy.
Yeah, it'd be good, but that would be Darth Vader, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but it's still like it'd be him playing it, or maybe early. That may be an early Darth Vader because we didn't really see much early Darth Vader, have we?
No, but he's playing Darth Vader in the Obi-Wan TV show.
Oh, that'd be good. Obi-Wan TV show needs to happen, man.
It is happening.
It's the right time. It's the right time for it, I have to say.
When's that coming out? 1st of January 2022.
There's so much stuff going out. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be like this big, like, whoom.
Yeah. All of a sudden, there's no content, and then just bang.
Yeah.
I need to make a list of everything's come out because I'm going to forget.
Honestly, like, there's so much stuff coming out just about this end of this year, and there's so much stuff coming out next year, just in January and like February time. It's crazy.
Yeah, we've got exams.
Good time to be alive. Yeah.
Exam after week. This is priority. Oh yeah, also Book of Boba Fett comes out end of this year in December.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, good stuff.
Well, that's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. But let's go on to the other side of the spectrum. Something that's not good. Really, really bad. There's been a tragedy in America this week where Alec Baldwin unfortunately shot a crew member on set.
Yeah, it's pretty. I feel like honestly, like having to sort of deal with that sort of. It's like it's so like it's so hard because you never. It's this almost I don't know. I don't really. It's hard to sort of comprehend. Sort of be it was such an accident, and something you were doing something that there was no consequences, and then suddenly it's like essentially the worst thing. I couldn't imagine a worse thing happening. It's like it's pretty awful.
No, I actually, to be honest, some of the worst people feel sorry for is Alec Baldwin situation because he just shot someone without realizing it.
Yeah, and it's like I don't know how you would deal with that. Dealing with it is so hard,
Yeah, so there was safety concerned apparently by the crew. They said there's just not safety to do with the guns.
All right.
I think
normally like I think I saw a video on YouTube. It wasn't quite a while ago, and it was like how they deal with like firearm props and how they regulate them. Like they're meant to basically, you have a firearm expert that essentially controls a gun, and then they will check everything, and then they will, just before the scene starts, give it to the actor and say, this is safe to use, and then you'll hand it off to them. But so I'm really surprised that this sort of happens because they're meant to sort of check all the barrel, because that's always the problem with shooting blanks is stuff being in the barrel and it getting fired. But yeah, clearly this sort of wasn't regulated as much as it should have been.
Well, apparently the gun the gun armorist that was there, I think was new. I think it was a young girl who didn't actually have any proper qualifications or trained. It was just her father trained her.
Oh, well, that's not.
It's in New Mexico, so you can't expect things to be good. A lot of crew members had walked off set to do with safety concerns.
Okay, right. That's clearly like this is something that they.
Yes.
That's like whoever the production company's fault. Really, they should have properly got someone that knew what they were doing. The thing these days is there's so much health and safety to do with
America,
actually.
Well,
yeah,
but
but
it's even America. It's just New Mexico.
Compliant. There's still compliance stuff that they really should have looked into.
Well, the lucky thing is in this country that is pretty much never going to happen in this country. So there always is two gun armorists, one checking over the other person to make sure nothing happens. And then when they hand someone a real gun, they have to show them it's empty or show them it's blanks in there.
Yeah.
Just so they know, like, this is it. How it got loaded in the first place, that's the question. There should never be live bullets on set.
Well, there weren't any live bullets. It was blanks, right?
If you can't kill someone with blanks, it means there has to be a bullet somewhere.
You can kill someone with a blank if there's something in the barrel.
Yeah, that's true.
Because a blank bullet essentially fires nothing, right? There's all the combustibles, but there's no essentially bullet in the end of a projectile in the end of the bullet. But what essentially happened here, which I think essentially was there was some stuff still left in the end of the barrel, whether that was remnants of the cartridge of the previous bullet, because that's often what you have to be careful of. And so the previous most famous incident was who was it? Bruce Lee's son or cousin, a relative. He was like one of the most famous people who got killed by a blank round, where essentially there was like a cartridge still stuck in the barrel, and it essentially got fired at him. And because it's because there's so much force behind it, just enough damage.
So apparently there was 3 guns that were laid down outside next to the wooden structure by a certain Gutierrez Reed. I'm sorry if I butchered that name. And apparently the director actually picked up one of the guns and handed it to Baldwin.
Well, the director shouldn't be touching anything like that. That's ridiculous.
Well, sorry, the assistant director, Dave Halls, grabbed the
Well,
gun.
anybody that's...
I'm pretty much at this point, I'm pretty convinced that Baldwin had actually nothing to do with this. He couldn't have anything to do with this.
Yeah, no, I don't think they wouldn't.
But this now has thrown up a lot of questions in the air of what should be done to prevent this.
Well, I think really just having somebody that's trained on set would be the main sort of way of approaching it. At least one person, if not two. Because it's, blank rounds can be perfectly safe to shoot as long as you're firing with there's nothing, you make sure everything's cleaned and it's simply just the combustibles. But if you're not checking these things, then it's just things are just going to happen.
Well, some people have called for real guns to be banned on sets.
Well, what does that mean, though?
So you can't have a gun that can actually fire bullets on sets. But the trouble with that is
blank rounds are safe, right? They're completely safe as long as they are kept. As long as they're, it's all maintained properly. So I think I disagree with that. Like, these things can be done.
Well,
fine.
also, so these people say it should be done by CGI, but they don't understand how difficult CGI is to do, especially on sort of small TV shows. Maybe if it's like a big Marvel film, sure, you can do CGI and it'll look fine because they have loads of budget. But a small TV show doesn't have a lot of budget. It's so much cheaper to use a real gun or just put blanks in there.
Yeah.
So I think it's just the laws need to be tightened strictly on Americans with production, just to improve safety conditions.
Yeah, well, it's also probably to the attitude of firearms is slightly...
Yeah, it's just ban firearms in the US, right? Is that the way to do it?
It's not... No, like banning them is not the solution. Like, that's never going to work. That's like an impractical way of doing it. But honestly, it's basic regulation that doesn't exist in a lot of these states. Private sales can essentially just be done arbitrarily. There's no laws regulating them. You could sell somebody at thousands of rounds of ammunition and any sort of gun, and then they could be, mentally unstable. There's no sort of proper being aware of who owns what guns, like sort of standard procedures that could probably prevent a lot of issues. It's not about taking guns away because that's just that's never going to work, but a little bit more of some regulation would be good.
Also in America it's easy to get a gun and get alcohol.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's it's not everywhere, it's just certain states, of course, but I think we should move on. I got another new section for us. I've got Shithousery of the Week. And this week, we've got the boys as made fun of Marvel in Marvel's What If, where they have posted a tweet on Twitter saying, follow Billy the Butcher and ponder the question, what if? With grey stock images of the boys' characters.
It's good. I love it. It's fucking fantastic. The boys are such a... They know what they're doing. They're such some good marketing team, though. It's funny stuff. Gotta love them. Yeah.
I think also it's sort of in this question is it's when people get these photos is people switch character spaces. So Frenchie is the Deep, Huey is Homelander. Don't remember the girl's name is Queen Maeve. That's not Maeve. Is it Queen Maeve?
Yeah. Yeah, it's Maeve, isn't it? Yeah.
And Mother's Milk is A-Train. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Very funny shit house. But let's go on to the gaming news of the week, and I've only got one topic for We've Lost a Controller of the news. I couldn't find anything this week, nothing interesting. I think there's a couple of sort of things about Sony, about sort of, maybe this couldn't have happened or whatever, but that's not really important. So the one thing I want to talk about was Microsoft has now announced a 2 terabyte and a 512 gigabyte storage expansion card for the Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S. So for those who don't know, the Xbox uses it's happened again.
Proprietary.
That one. Storage cards instead of actually having an NVMe slot. The 2 terabyte cards are going to cost $400 in the US, and the 512 gigabyte cards will cost $140 in the US.
It's a lot of money.
Which is a lot of money.
Yeah. Just seems a bit like they're just trying to... it just seems a bit of a scam, honestly. It just seems ridiculous. I would be surprised, actually, if somebody did just make an adapter that you could just chuck an M.2 in.
Yeah.
Because you can probably quite easily work out the pin out and then just chuck something in there. It's just it's going to be an interface. Unless there's they properly encoded it and stuff, and there's, checking going on. But that'd be pretty scummy if they did. But yeah.
Well, I think it uses PCIe 2x2. So PCIe 4x2, sorry. Which is slower than the standard now. I think most M.2s is PCIe 2x4. So it's twice as fast as the Xbox ones.
Yeah, it's whether you'll get it's because the other thing is it's like whether you actually get, even if you have that extra bus width, how much actually whether you'll use it with the processors that they have on the on the systems.
What's the point of having a by 4? Sorry, a PCIe 4x2. So just having a PCIe 3x4 because it's the same speed.
Cheaper to make probably.
Is it cheaper to make? Sorry, 3x4 is cheaper then.
I'm not sure. It depends.
I am sorry to everyone listening to this because they're going to get so confused by all the numbers I'm just throwing out.
Yeah, I'm a bit like, what are you fucking talking about?
I'm realising this. Better perspective, PCI 4x4 M.2 is about $300.
Yeah.
Not on deal. That's straight price. So yes, it is quite expensive.
Yeah, definitely. Because like 5 gig for $140 sounds quite a lot of money.
Also, it's completely ridiculous to have memory cards in 2021.
Yeah. Although the thing is, I can kind of see it like it means that you can upgrade your storage rather than having to like open the thing up. Because some people don't want to do that and just want to chuck a thing in the back.
You could just have an external slot though. Just put a slot on the back or something.
Yeah, we wanted to put like an M.2 in.
Yeah, you just need a little panel.
I guess you could just have like, you could sell these, right? And they just be enclosures.
Yeah.
And so you put an M.2 in it, and then you just slot this in. So that's probably the best of both worlds. It means it's easy to install, like a hot swappable sort of thing. And then you can just go and buy your own hardware.
Yeah.
But it means they can make more money off it. Because essentially what they're doing... Actually, I reckon if you open one of these up, what's the bet that it's just an M.2 interface?
Well, it's a lot smaller than that. It's actually quite small. I think it's about inch wide, inch long.
It's like an eSATA card. They're like about that size.
Yeah, it's not big. It's quite small. Which is why it's so expensive, I think, the other reason why, because it's very compacted memory.
Yeah.
I think the other reason why this works is because it doesn't need to be that fast on Xbox. So Sony has got a problem with speed limitation, where it needs to have a fast M.2.
Right, okay.
You can't install PS5 games on something like a hard disk drive, whereas you can on an Xbox. So they don't make full use of it.
I guess if they're doing more caching than Xbox... I've got more RAM in there, I guess, if they're doing that.
Yeah, I think it's just, it's slightly different architecture. Like, Sony's got a dedicated custom chip to decompress the files on the M.2,
right? Which
uses like the fast read and write speeds, and then sends it to the CPU.
I guess if it's all compressed on the Sony stuff, that means that you have more, you can store more stuff, but you've got to uncompress them, so that takes time. So you need the speed. Whereas over Xbox, it's all uncompressed, but you have to have a bigger medium to store that uncompressed data on. So yeah, I guess it's like two different ways of looking at it.
Yes, but so for all the Xbox fans out there, you can now buy a 2 terabyte, which to be fair, it's probably not enough.
You can now get ripped off even more.
You can now put 2 CODs on there.
Oh my god, that's ridiculous. Oh no.
How long is it going to be until 1 terabyte is 1 COD?
That would be a bit mad.
It's going to happen, Joe. It's going to happen. 10 years. 10 years be 1 terabyte, 1 COD.
Well, hopefully we'll have better storage then.
No. It's still going to be like limited to 8 terabytes. But let's go on to the weird, wacky, wonderful world. And you have brought us a tweet from Twitter.
Yeah. So this is like it's in China. And there's essentially this sort of these sort of drone art things. They're sort of becoming more popular. I think it was New Year. Is it New Year's in London? They did like a big drone.
They banned fireworks stuff.
So basically, sort of similar sorts of these drone art things. And basically, what's happened is a rival drone company that was sort of bidding for this contract, right? Essentially, is like taken down the drones. So they're all like basically going to like homing mode. So they're basically all dropping down. They're turning the lights off and dropping down to like the floor. So they're just like littering the streets, these drones.
It's raining drones.
It's great. It's just they suddenly like some of the drones' lights just turn off and they just start going just falling down. It's just like, oh, it's so funny.
Yeah, I can watch this video over and over again.
It's great. You gotta love it. Just when these big things just fail.
You see people running around trying to catch the drones.
Yeah, but they're pretty quite expensive. So if we just like,
Yeah,
All you got to do is get like get a controller, and then you got a drone. They're probably like grand.
yeah, probably.
These drones, they're good, pretty some decent drones.
I wonder if there's gonna be a lawsuit after this.
Well, it's hard. The thing is, you got to prove it, right?
Yeah, true.
Because what they've done is they've just triggered like homing mode, where they just drop down. Where it's like basically what they normally do is when the battery gets to a certain bit, some of them will like fly back to you, but if it's quite low on battery, basically it will just drop down slowly because it knows it knows how much roughly what altitude it is, and it will have enough power to just safely get back down to the ground. So it doesn't just drop out of the air and break.
No, yeah.
And so they basically triggered that, and so they've all just slowly gone down. So it's hard to sort of go like that was proved. It could just be a fault in the hardware all at once though, and not every drone.
Yeah.
But it's like it's quite funny.
But if they were hacked, it does sort of worry the security risks of these drones. Like Amazon want to use these drones to deliver parcels.
Yes, that is true. Yeah, there is definitely that argument, but you could also, I don't know, some of the like these. You can hack a lot of cars and stuff, but there will be more protection for these Amazon drones because that will be inbuilt, whereas these drones are probably more commercial. So there's less need to have them like your average drone isn't going to be hacked.
I imagine what they'll have to have is a closed loop network and end-to-end encryption between drones.
Yeah, the way a lot of the way to take them down normally is that you essentially blast them with just an RF blaster.
Yeah.
So essentially, the comms get so scrambled that the drone goes into this homing mode and will just drop down. That's where the US have sort of taken a lot of these drones that just were flying where they shouldn't be. They just blast it and it just drops down. Or it flies back to the person, so you follow the drone, which is great.
The police are just there. It'd be blast a drone and they just see her flying towards the kind of cliff.
Yeah, your drone is like dobbing you in this way.
You see the man running away from the drone, just following him back. That'd be quite funny. However, it is time to go on to our final topic of the evening of tech time and science shenanigans, and we're going to start off with the space/science news. And NASA has got a third proposal for a new private space station.
Yeah, good to hear that. There's
privatized space travel.
Yeah, more privatized space travel. Yeah, this is like I think there's like a bit of since like a lot of the launches recently with Deep Blue from Bezos and the Virgin Galactic, as well as like the Tesla SpaceX launches. How much should we be focusing on space travel when there's lots of other problems that exist? There's a lot of these arguments going around. Actually, these billionaires could be solving a lot more problems, but instead of just going into space. But I think it's a good thing. Like the ISS does a lot of good experiments in sort of zero gravity that can be quite useful. So to actually see how zero gravity affects a lot of things, plant life, other stuff. So doing more of that's good.
Yeah. So apparently this private space station is planned for launch in 2027. Where there will be likely a lot of commercial action at that time.
I'm going to say it's probably all going to be like people that are in these commercial rockets are going to dock with this, have some time in space, and then go back down again.
Yeah, so the 4-person Starlab station will be lofted in a single launch, and it will habit a module with about 340 cubic meters of internal volume. How big 340 meters? Probably not that much.
So it's not good. Yeah, it'd probably be quite cramped, I reckon, when you sort of break it down into like a lot of the stuff you need in like a space station. Measurement equipment. I reckon you need to analyze a lot of stuff.
I mean, like I said, it's a 4-person lab.
Yeah.
But it's interesting though, because everyone's using the same space station. That can't survive forever.
Haven't China got one?
I think China's got their own one as well.
Russia's got the Russians and the Europeans and the Americans all collaborate together, don't they?
Yeah, I think they all use International Space Station. A lot of the Russian, they all use Russian rockets to get to the International Space Station.
Yeah, or they all go from Kazakhstan.
Yeah, because I don't know why. Why?
Because it's the Kazakhstan steppe. It's like basically nothing for thousands of miles. There's nothingness.
Yeah.
So they can launch rockets from there. That's where the Soviets did it from the Kazakhstan steppe. So they sort of continue to do that because there's facilities and
I'm sure Kazakhstan doesn't mind the extra revenue.
Nobody's complaining. There's nobody to complain because there's nobody there.
Yeah.
But some of these rocket launches in the US have complaints with missions, and the Kazakhstanis don't really care. Country's so big and there's not a lot of them, so.
How come from one giant to another? Facebook has now got plans to change the company name because they want to focus on their metaverse.
Metaverse, God.
Yeah, so Mark Zuckerberg wants to be known for building a metaverse. I'm still not sure what it means, but he keeps going on about it.
I don't think even he knows what it means.
Yeah. Yes, and it's been revealed they want to change their name to appear less controversial as a rebrand.
Good luck. Honestly, Facebook's so fucked.
I think at the minute the rumoured name is FCBK.
Which sounds like a restaurant.
Yeah.
What a name. What a fucking name.
Yeah, it's stupid. I mean, I don't know what to say about this. It's just so stupid, isn't it? Can Facebook actually paper over the cracks?
No, they're fucked, dude.
Yeah.
Honestly. Like, anyone that's got, just aware of all the data harvesting and mining they've been doing and so much dodgy shit, that I don't think, for most people that are in tech are like, this is no way. We're fucked.
Yeah, you never know. Maybe it'd be very funny if they name it just like something really stupid, just taking the piss out of something else.
Call it F. They just call it F.
Just F.
I present to you F.
Got the new F app?
Represent fuck all. He'd do like a big sort of, Apple style, bullshittery.
I would actually rate if they just call it something like
keynote speech.
Like the backwards of Amazon.
Or call ourselves Face.
Face.
Call ourselves Face.
Nozama.
That's fucking
Nozama. That's what they would call themselves.
God, what awful.
It's quite funny.
Although I wouldn't be surprised if Zuckerberg just renames it Zuck.
Yes. Well, talking about Amazon and Nomaza, Jeff Bezos has unveiled his £420 million super yacht. And if you've seen this thing, it is mental.
His yacht?
It's got a yacht. It is like a cruise ship.
Oh my God, it looks like a battleship. Fuck me, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's absolutely massive.
That is mental, dude.
Imagine having that much
It's got
money.
sails on it. Have you seen the one with the sails?
Yeah.
Crikey.
It's crazy. It is 127 meters in length.
Just imagine that. Imagine, your 100 meter sprint. That's crazy.
It is. It's actually mental.
I guess it's just one of the biggest privately owned boats then, I reckon.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, the world's biggest yacht.
Well, a football pitch is about 120 meters long. 90 to 120 meters.
Football pitch.
So it's nearly 2 football pitches.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. Who needs that? Who needs it that big?
Nobody. Honestly. It's got 3 masts.
Who needs 3 masts? And it's just going to be him using it. Him and his crew, probably.
It's got a pool on it. Wow, it's got a hot tub, it looks like. Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah, 417 feet. It is big. They're making a cruise ship next. I'm pretty sure cruise ships... Well, how much are cruise ships? 10 billion? Like 10 billion?
I don't know. There are a lot. There's a lot of infrastructure.
But the difference is cruise ships make money. This isn't going to make any money. It's just like buying a car.
Oh, it's just... Yeah. It's just for him. It's not making any money. Unless he rents it out. But it's Bezos.
No chance he rent it out. He's got enough money.
So... You say Amazon's do pretty well, so...
It's nice to see where the taxpayers' money's gone.
Yep. Or what should be taxpayers' money.
Yeah.
But it's not.
It's all gone to him. Yay. That could have bought us some new trains.
Yeah.
Oh well. What can you do? And then going from one set of record-breaking numbers to another set, Apple has released the M1 Pro processor, and its benchmarks currently heavily outscore the Intel i9 10 series.
Whoa. That's good.
Yeah, and its 16-core integrated GPU is about equivalent of a GTX 1650.
Oh, right.
That's quite impressive for integrated graphics.
Oh, for integrated graphics?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, that is impressive, I have to say.
Yeah, it
It's
indicated.
good to see sort of Apple sort of bringing up their performance really, because for quite a while they've really been like sort of lacking compared to PC.
Yes. Well, the different thing with this process, it's technically not a processor. It's actually a system on a chip.
Yes, yeah, it's these ARM-based sort of SoCs.
Yeah, it doesn't actually have cooling. It's all passive.
No, yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't get as hot, so
Yeah.
which is great. Gotta love it. So sort of this development is brilliant, especially for laptops and stuff.
Yeah.
Got no fan, better battery life. Well, it should be.
But
In theory,
it's a no-brainer, is it? Really? Like you might as well have a more lightweight laptop, thinner, and just as powerful.
Don't have to have a big. Does it have a heat sink? It must need like a
Probably
little
has.
heat sink.
Well, I think the case is a heatsink because it's all aluminium.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, you can just use the case these days. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's what most laptops do now. But the thing is, they still get run so hot they need a fan still, whereas this one doesn't need a fan. Although this is very bad news for Intel.
Yeah, well, what isn't bad news for Intel these days?
Intel is in the mud firmly with AMD's new lineup taking out the CPU infrastructure that side.
Again,
Their biggest contract has now been taken away as well for Apple.
Oh yeah, that's true as well. Especially because isn't the Apple Pro is the desktop one? They use AMD chipsets as well, don't they?
Yep. Yeah, Apple just want to use their own chips now. I think because it is cheaper and they're better. I can't deny it.
Yeah.
This is the one reason why I would get a Mac is for these processors because they are fantastic.
Yeah, they are good. Definitely. Good job, Apple. I haven't said that in a while. I was worried about Apple for a bit. I thought they were going to go down the drain, but they really pulled it out of the bag.
Yeah, they have actually. That's true. But
because they got the hardware and the software, so yeah,
they do.
I
mean, to be fair, I don't think the Mac software is too bad.
No, it's good. I think it's it's the closest thing to Linux that's sort of very widely available.
Yeah, the file system also, if I remember, is quite similar to Linux as well.
Yeah, so I think it's quite a nice one way to do it. It's better than Windows for the most part.
But yeah, Windows file system's a bit shit. There's a lot of shit things about Windows.
Yeah, honestly.
But the one thing is, it does support a lot more devices and software. But you never know. Maybe one day we'll get more integrated systems for Mac and Linux. If they can somehow manage to make all Windows applications run on Macs and Linux efficiently
without a VM, without
a VM, that's when those software.
Although I think seeing some of the VM running of products on the Apple M1 chips is pretty good actually. They've done especially for like like multi-core, multi-threading. Previously it's been quite shit, but like they've done quite a good job in terms of like the management of it. It's very impressive. There's not much performance reduction.
Yes, but that is it. This is the podcast episode over. We've had ups, we've had downs. I was gonna make a rhyme, but I couldn't think of anything. Oh, shit ending. Well, thank you for listening. Please leave a like, subscribe, leave a review, share with your friends, family, and we'll see you next week.
Cool. Thank you very much. Bye. Cool. Nice one.